Hello, it's Emma Mills here, and welcome to episode 117 of MiTV. And today I'm going to be talking about interruptions and how you deal with them. But I'm going on holiday soon, and if there was ever anything to be interrupted by, how good is Amazon? Ralph is ready to go with his backpack. Ralph, how are you feeling about this backpack? I'm not sure whether it's animal cruelty or whether Ralph will actually be very happy to carry his own treats around France in a couple of weeks' time, but I thought it was one of the best purchases my PA has ever made. I think Ralph might have a slightly different opinion on it. So, as I mentioned last week, I did a smart thing that I should have done a very long time ago. Emailed my list, asked them what business issues they face that they would like help with. And today, I'm going to be answering another one of those. So, Arif emailed me to talk about interruptions, and he said his top 3 things that were giving him grief and pain and, as we say every single week, taking the time away from him to focus on the fun stuff in the business, to focus on the stuff he loves doing, were interruptions. And they were 3 kinds. So 1, it was interruptions from members of his team. Now, they will always happen, but sometimes you can either have them happen in a productive way or a really unproductive way. So it was interruptions. It was also actually WhatsApp messages. Now, we talked about emails last week, but WhatsApp is another communication tool that I think people expect immediate responses on. This was giving him grief in his business. And number 3 was clients just dropping in, expecting to see him unannounced, which, I mean, I struggle with some people's mindsets in terms of just expecting people to be available if they are a customer of yours, unless you have very specific SLAs where you agree you will get back to somebody in, half an hour, whatever it might be. But generally, people, I think, need to be a bit more respectful of other people's time. So let's go through the 3. So number 1, interruptions from your team. Now, I think this is really easily solved, and to be fair, I've learned this from Martin Norbury, my coach. Interruptions can be planned. So although somebody might need help, it can be planned that they only talk to you about them at a specific time during the day. Now, I booked this into my calendar, so every day between 12:30 and 1 o'clock, I have a section in my calendar which says interruptions and things to solve in the office. Now, mainly, it will be Matt, who's my operations manager, or Amber, who is the team leader of our PA team, that will come to me with questions. Generally, the rest of the team will come to them too for their questions. It's mainly Matt or Amber who have things for me. So I've said to them that my 12:30 to 1 slot is about any questions that you have, any help you need, anything you're not sure on. Just make the list, save it all up, and we'll get it done and through in the 12:30 session. Now, of course, there's a caveat on that. If there's something that's super urgent, it's business threatening, business critical, it's just a not good situation that needs tackling now, that's fine. Tell me about it and we'll deal with it. But everything else, if it's not urgent, and they're very good at making a good call on that, they will make a list and they come to me at 12:30. Now, Matt has done the same thing with the team, so he will have an interruption time built into the day that, again, unless a customer maybe has got an urgent issue that needs solving or something is business critical, the team are trained, and trained sounds like a rubbish word, but I think especially in a smaller business as well, where there's 12 of us, it can be easy to just go, Matt, can you help with this? Matt, can you help with that? Matt, can you? And actually, although it might just seem like, we'll just get it done now, it becomes a crazy drain on somebody's productive time. So Matt has done the same thing, and he's planned into his diary, guys, between 11 and 12, whichever time it is, you can come to me and ask those questions that need solving. Save them up, we'll get them done in one productive go. And most things, I would say 9 times out of 10 are not urgent, are not business threatening, and so they just get done in that one time, and it's planned out, and Matt then has the time to look at it properly and can deal with it properly and deals with it in a positive way, because when somebody just keeps going, can you help, can you do this, can you do that, it can just be a bit like, gosh, I'm not in a good mindset to even help with this now because you're constantly asking me questions. So for interruptions, tip number 1, block out a section of time in your diary and make your virtual team, your employed team, anybody you work with, completely aware that that is the time you can come to me, ask me any questions, and we'll get them solved. Number 2, with WhatsApp messages. I mean, we have some clients on WhatsApp groups there where we have a specific SLA to get back to them because they will drop tasks into their requests. But generally, on the whole, aside from them 2 or 3 clients that have those WhatsApp groups, we don't have any pre-agreed SLAs in getting back to people, or even just me with anybody that WhatsApps me. I don't see how it is expected that people have to come back to you straight away. So I do think it's partly in your own mindset as well. If you do have to educate and train other people how you communicate and how you respond. And if you constantly respond to everything all the time, people will expect that. So actually, if you're in the middle of something really important and some good work, some high value stuff that's going to push the business forward, you see a WhatsApp come in, you don't answer it. That is the smart thing to do, because you're just never going to get out of the rut. Nigel Bottrell has his 90-minute rule, where every single day he turns off his phone, he doesn't let anybody contact him. He has a little sign on the door of his office saying "Do not contact unless the building is on fire." It might be a bit, extreme, the sign, but the concept and the mindset is there, in that this 90 minutes that he does is so important to his life, the growth of his business, his employees' lives, that the business grows and does well. If he gets disturbed, he's not going to do that work. So it's as much in your mindset as it is in the other people's mindset. If you see your own time in the kind of £1,000 an hour chunks, that if somebody just WhatsApps or if somebody just drops into the office and they are taking £1,000 from you, then it becomes a bit more real. So for me, dealing with interruptions, you either get them scheduled in, and with clients and WhatsApp messages and texts and all that kind of thing, unless of course you have pre-agreed SLAs, which is different. It's your mindset is as much as important as theirs, in that you can dictate how and when you communicate with people, and that is really important. So also for people perceiving you in a specific way, that I cannot just grab an hour of your time, because you might have had other plans for that. And you're only here once. You only get to grow and run and do your days in your business once. So it's really important that you understand the value of your time, because ultimately I want to be able to help you to go and do the fun stuff in your business, which you really enjoy. So I hope these 3 top tips of dealing with interruptions with your team, dealing with WhatsApp message or text message requests, and dealing with clients dropping in unexpectedly will help you to get your head out of the dirt, into the clouds, free up your time, and crack on to grow a business that you love to be in. And I'll see you next week for episode 118. See you then. Bye-bye.